Welcome back. And if you thought part 1 of 50 Amish recipes was a game changer, part 2 is where things get serious. Today, we're diving even deeper into the frugal, flavorful world of Amish cooking, where the pantry is sacred, nothing gets wasted, and every meal is a masterclass in stretching a dollar. These recipes aren't just about eating well on a budget. They're about self-reliance, survival, and tradition handed down through generations, and how you can apply these same techniques to your own kitchen starting today. So if you're ready to slash your grocery bill, cook with purpose, and live more simply, you're in the right place. This is part 2 of 50 Amish recipes that will save you money. Let's keep going. Cornmeal mush. Cornmeal mush is the Amish answer to empty pantries and big appetites. Made from one of the cheapest pantry staples, cornmeal, this two-step dish is filling, comforting, and deeply traditional. First, it's cooked into a soft porridge for dinner or breakfast. Then the cooled leftovers are sliced and pan-fried the next morning in a cast-iron skillet, creating crispy golden cakes with a crunchy edge and creamy center. Each step uses minimal ingredients, but maximum technique, delivering over 500 calories per serving, perfect for those who work outdoors all day. And because it's made from a product that costs under 25 cents, it's also a financial powerhouse. It's said that one Amish elder ate cornmeal mush 15,000 times in his life and never tired of it. That's how versatile and comforting it is. And in true Amish fashion, it makes iron-rich meals from humble grain and a hot skillet. Navy bean soup. Navy bean soup is the quiet workhorse of the Amish meal lineup. High in protein, incredibly cheap, and perfect for multitasking households. Traditionally cooked on wash days, this soup simmers slowly in the background while hands are busy scrubbing and hanging clothes. It uses dried beans, often homegrown, which cost a fraction of meat, yet offer just as much nourishment. Some Amish settlements even cultivate unique bean varieties adapted to local soil and climate. A ham bone, smoked turkey neck, or just salt and herbs deepen the flavor. Once cooked, this soup feeds a crowd and reheats beautifully. It's proof that slow food doesn't mean complicated, it means wise. This dish supports the Amish ideal that good meals don't require spending, but rather intention, tradition, and a little planning ahead. Perpetual Amish Soup Pot. The Perpetual Soup Pot is a living symbol of Amish frugality and ingenuity. It's a pot that never empties, only evolves. Every day, more ingredients are added. Leftover vegetables, bones, broth, and whatever scraps are available. Instead of starting fresh, the soup deepens in flavor, becoming richer and more nourishing with time. In the coldest Amish winters, some families keep the same pot going for 30 days straight, simmering slowly over a wood stove. This practice not only reduces fuel costs and food waste, but also ensures that a hot, hearty meal is always available. It's especially valued during communal labor like quilting bees or house raisings. The concept, rooted in pre-refrigeration times, continues to offer modern value. It turns scraps into sustenance and teaches that resourcefulness can be far more flavorful than convenience. Amish Meadow Tea is made from fresh-picked wild mint leaves, steeped in hot water, and sweetened lightly with sugar or honey. It's a summer staple, served ice-cold during haymaking season to cool overheated workers and provide hydration with a burst of natural flavor. The tea is caffeine-free, soothing, and completely sourced from the backyard, making it one of the most economical drinks imaginable. Children are often tasked with harvesting the mint, learning to identify various varieties by scent and leaf shape, turning the act of making tea into an early botany lesson. Served by the pitcher at barn raisings, quilting circles, and picnics, it's a community favorite that proves the best things in life really can be free, especially if they grow under your feet. Lemonade concentrate. Lemons aren't grown in Amish country, but smart bulk buying during seasonal sales turns them into year-round refreshment. Amish women juice dozens of lemons at once, mix with sugar and a bit of water, and freeze the concentrate in jars or ice cube trays. 1 quart of concentrate can serve up to 60 people when diluted, perfect for post-church gatherings or community meals. The preparation is simple, but the savings are significant, especially when compared to bottled lemonade or powdered mixes. This strategy highlights the Amish principle of planning ahead and working with the seasons. When lemons are cheap, you buy a bushel. When guests arrive, you've got a pitcher ready in 5 minutes. It's a refreshing example of how small efforts and good timing can make life both easier and more affordable. Amish wedding chicken. At an Amish wedding, often attended by 200 plus people, the chicken served must be flavorful, filling, and scalable. Enter Amish wedding chicken. Slow-cooked, bone-in chicken braised in rich broth with celery, onions, and seasonings. It's made days ahead of the wedding, then reheated in batches, allowing families to feed massive crowds without losing quality. Despite its simplicity, it's tender, savory, and often considered one of the most comforting meals served in Amish kitchens. The recipe prioritizes both flavor and food safety, crucial in settings without refrigeration. It's often accompanied by mashed potatoes, buttered noodles, and rolls, all prepared in advance by women working in organized teams. This dish is a centerpiece not just for the meal, but for the memory, the taste of togetherness, celebration, and spiritual blessing. Amish celebration roasts take inexpensive, tough cuts of meat, usually chuck roast or venison, and turn them into fall-apart tenderness through low, slow cooking. These roasts are served at special occasions, welcoming a new baby, celebrating a barn raising, or honoring a birthday or anniversary. They're often flavored with homemade seasoning blends, root vegetables, and herbs from the garden, then baked or braised for hours, sometimes using wood smoke to add depth. This technique requires no fancy tools or store-bought rubs, just time and care. One roast can feed 12 to 20 people, making it incredibly cost-effective for large events. It's also a lesson in patience. Not everything delicious comes quickly. But with planning, even a modest cut of meat can become a meal to remember. Haystack dinner. This build-your-own casserole is an Amish favorite at church suppers, school fundraisers, and big family gatherings. Picture a buffet line of ingredients: rice, seasoned meat, shredded lettuce, chopped tomatoes, cheese, crushed crackers, salsa, onions, and sometimes even crushed corn chips or pickles. Guests stack the ingredients they want, customizing their meal and minimizing waste. The base of rice and ground meat keeps it cheap and filling, while the variety ensures everyone, picky kids, big eaters, and dieters alike, walks away happy. Because it's mostly prep and very little cooking, it's a low-labor way to feed 30 to 100 people in under an hour. Haystack dinners are relatively new by Amish standards, but have quickly become a modern tradition. Fun, frugal, and community-oriented. Amish cream soup base canned soups, not in an Amish pantry. Instead, a simple cream soup base is made using flour, butter, milk, and broth, then adapted to replicate mushroom, celery, chicken, or any other cream of soup needed for casseroles or sauces. This single, versatile recipe replaces dozens of store-bought cans, saving money, storage space, and unnecessary additives. Dehydrated herbs, mushrooms, or onions, often preserved during growing season, are added as needed. These bases are frequently used in community meals, school lunches, or large family dinners, where bulk cooking is essential. They're mixed up quickly and freeze well, making them just as convenient as store-bought, without the mystery ingredients. The Amish motto here: don't rely on the supermarket for what you can make yourself in 5 minutes flat. Ground beef stretcher. When meat prices climb, the Amish don't cut back, they stretch smarter. This recipe takes a pound of ground beef and turns it into a meal for 8 by adding oats, rice, or breadcrumbs. The meat juices soak into the fillers, creating texture and taste that feels like more meat than is actually used. It's seasoned and slow cooked, allowing everything to blend together perfectly. This method works equally well with venison or turkey, making it ideal for households that hunt. It's especially popular in handwritten Amish cookbooks passed down through the years, where the margins note clever additions like diced vegetables or cheese ends. For those trying to eat well without overspending, this dish is a money-saving miracle, disguised as comfort food. Chicken and dumplings. This dish is the perfect example of turning nothing into something extraordinary. The broth is made from old hens or leftover carcasses. The dumplings, just flour, water, and maybe an egg. Yet when dropped into the rich, simmering liquid, they become tender clouds that soak up flavor. The Amish know that every part of a chicken is useful. Even the feet add gelatin and depth to the broth. Chicken and dumplings are a staple meal during barn raising days, when dozens of workers need to be fed. For about the cost of 2 large pizzas, a family can serve 40 people this hearty, satisfying meal. It's slow food for strong backs and busy hands. And more than that, it's an edible celebration of resourcefulness. Amish baked beans. These aren't your average canned beans. Amish baked beans are a slow-simmered masterpiece built on frugality, flavor, and tradition. Dried navy or pinto beans are soaked overnight, then baked low and slow with molasses, brown sugar, and often scraps of bacon or ham for smoky depth. The long cook in a wood-fired oven infuses them with a rich, almost caramelized taste and makes the kitchen smell heavenly for hours. These beans often appear at frolics, large work events like barn raisings, because they're cheap to make, easy to scale, and immensely satisfying. Each settlement has its own flavor preference. Ohio Amish lean toward molasses sweet, while Indiana folks prefer a brown sugar blend. But no matter the profile, they all share one thing in common. They make a dollar stretch and a table feel full. Pepper cabbage crisp, tangy, and entirely raw. Pepper cabbage is an Amish slaw made with shredded cabbage, bell peppers, onions, and a vinegar sugar dressing. What makes it remarkable is its no-cook simplicity. It uses no fuel, no expensive ingredients, and no waste. Prepared in large batches, it stores well in root cellars or cold pantries, ready to serve as a crunchy side to balance richer dishes. It's a common offering at communal meals because it's easy to make in bulk, refreshing, and pairs well with everything from pot roast to sandwiches. It also aligns with the Amish principle of simplicity in cooking. Fewer steps, less waste, maximum flavor. Unlike mayonnaise-based slaws, this version keeps for longer and holds up well in outdoor or unrefrigerated settings, making it a picnic and church potluck staple. Ham and beans. Ham and beans is both a flavor bomb and a financial strategy. It's what Amish families make after Easter or Christmas when the meaty ham bone is still too valuable to waste. That bone is simmered with dried beans, often grown and stored in the root cellar, to produce a savory, smoky pot of goodness. The beans soak up the ham's flavor, creating richness without requiring much actual meat. And because dried beans last for years, this is a pantry staple meal that's always ready. It's traditionally served on Saturday evenings in many Amish households, setting a predictable meal rhythm that reduces shopping stress and decision fatigue. And with just one pot, one bone, and a few cups of beans, you've got a meal that feeds a family for under $2. Amish Chow colorful pickled relish made from the odds and ends of the garden. Green tomatoes, cabbage, beans, carrots, cauliflower, and more. In Amish kitchens, nothing goes to waste, and this recipe proves it. The vegetables are chopped finely, boiled briefly, and pickled in a sweet and sour syrup, creating a tangy condiment that brightens up bland winter dishes. It's often made in massive community canning events, where families work side by side and share the bounty. Each community's version differs slightly. Some go spicy, some lean sweet, and some are intensely vinegary. But all are built on the same principle, using every scrap and turning surplus into something shelf-stable and delicious. Chow adds color, crunch, and a story to every bite, a jar of summer preserved for the darkest months. Corn relish. Amish corn relish captures the last burst of summer flavor and puts it in a jar. Made with just picked sweet corn, bell peppers, onions, and celery, it's a colorful, tangy sweet preserve that adds brightness to sandwiches, meats, and bean dishes throughout the year. The timing is key. Corn must be harvested just before it turns starchy. Many families coordinate husking bees, where neighbors gather to shuck, slice, and jar in one shared effort. Unlike store-bought relishes that are overly sweet or briny, this one has balance and bite. It also uses far less sugar than conventional recipes, a reflection of Amish culinary restraint. And because it's built around garden abundance, it's as economical as it is flavorful. Corn relish brings color and crunch to winter meals and proves that preservation isn't just practical, it's beautiful. Amish church spread. Served after long 3-hour church services held in homes, Amish church spread is a sweet and tangy mixture made from marshmallow cream, peanut butter, and a touch of corn syrup or honey. It's spread on bread and served alongside pickles, cheese, and cold meats, creating a balance of sweet and savory that satisfies tired, hungry attendees. Because the service is held in homes and refrigeration isn't always available, the spread is designed to be shelf-stable and safe at room temperature. Every family takes a turn making it using traditional ratios passed down in community cookbooks. For children, it's a highlight. The promise of that fluffy, peanutty bite makes sitting still a little more bearable. Simple to make, inexpensive, and beloved, it represents the uniquely Amish ability to combine thrift, nutrition, and joy in one bite. Friendship Soup Mix is a layered mason jar of dried beans, lentils, rice, pasta, dehydrated vegetables, and seasonings, all arranged beautifully for both function and gift-giving. These jars are given to families going through hardship, illness, or loss, a practical gesture of comfort and nourishment. The idea is simple. Add water, cook, and you've got a warm, filling soup with no prep needed. The cost per jar? Less than $3. But the value? Immeasurable. It's a beautiful reflection of the Amish way of life. Caring for neighbors, offering support through action, and feeding the body and soul simultaneously. Often made in winter when fieldwork is slow, these mixes are stored or gifted throughout the year, ready to deliver a little hope in hard times. Frugality with compassion. That's the real secret ingredient. Dutch potato filling. Dutch potato filling is a culinary magic trick. It transforms stale bread and surplus potatoes into a beloved Sunday side dish. Rooted in the waste-not traditions of early Amish settlers, this dish combines mashed potatoes, torn bread, sautéed onions, and herbs like sage, thyme, and parsley. The mixture is baked until golden and slightly crispy on top, creating a hearty, savory casserole that pairs perfectly with meats or can stand alone. Families pass down their own spice ratios and secret ingredients, such as homemade chicken broth or scraps of cured meat. Some community cookbooks include over 20 versions of this one dish, each family's interpretation being a point of pride. It's often featured at after-church meals or as a potluck favorite. More than just economical, it's nostalgic, a warm, flavorful reminder that with just 2 leftovers and some elbow grease, you can create something special that feeds both body and memory. Sweet and sour green beans. When summer gardens explode with green beans, Amish cooks turn to this sweet and sour preservation method to ensure none go to waste. The beans are blanched, then tossed with onions in a tangy sweet brine made of vinegar and sugar. No canning needed, just refrigeration or a cool cellar. The result is a bright, punchy side dish that cuts through heavy meals and adds variety to winter menus. It's frugal in every sense. It uses what the garden gives in abundance, doesn't require fancy tools, and can be made in large batches with ease. Neighbors often exchange jars during the winter, a quiet tradition of generosity that underscores Amish community values. Some say the popularity of this dish was so strong that families planted extra rows of beans just to make enough for sharing. Red beet eggs. Amish red beet eggs are a burst of color and flavor, with roots in practicality. Hard-boiled eggs are peeled and soaked in a brine made from vinegar, sugar, and the juice of cooked red beets, giving them their signature deep magenta hue. The pickling process allows the eggs to stay fresh for weeks without refrigeration, making them ideal for off-grid living. These eggs are a staple at picnics, holiday tables, and after-church meals. Beyond their vibrant appearance, they're packed with nutrition and flavor. Some families reuse the brine to pickle cabbage or onions, showcasing that nothing goes to waste. And thanks to the antioxidants in beets, these eggs aren't just pretty, they're a healthier snack option too. Generations of Amish women teach the method to their daughters, preserving not just eggs, but culinary wisdom. Homemade root beer. Forget soda machines and brand-name fizz. Amish root beer is brewed the old-fashioned way, with sassafras root, molasses, yeast, and patience. Fermented slightly to create natural carbonation, it's served at weddings, holidays, and community events as a sweet, spicy alternative to commercial sodas. The cost? Mere pennies per bottle. The process itself is a tradition, started a week before big events, with fermentation carefully timed to peak on the day of celebration. Children look forward to the first sip, while elders smile at the familiar flavor of generations past. It's not just a drink, it's a piece of history in a bottle, brewed without machines, bottled without preservatives, and served with joy. Root beer in Amish households tastes like nostalgia and thrift, and it fizzes with more than just bubbles. And that wraps up part 2 of our deep dive into the frugal, flavorful, and fiercely practical world of Amish cooking. These recipes don't just stretch your grocery budget, they reconnect you to a way of life where food is simple, honest, and made with intention. Whether it's pantry meals that cost pennies or preservation methods passed down for generations, the Amish have mastered the art of doing more with less. And now, so can you. If this video inspired you, leave a comment below and let us know which recipe you're adding to your meal plan this week, or share a frugal tip of your own. And if you haven't watched part 1 yet, what are you waiting for? Go back and start from the beginning to get the full 100 recipe experience. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and tap the notification bell so you don't miss the next video in this Frugal Living series.